What down, y'all? Welcome back to Say It Again podcast, and this Logix.
It's Ace.
Back again.
Yep, one more time.
So, I know we was off again, but fuck it, we here. It's a lot that went on.
Yeah.
We got announcements, no gameplays. We got shit ending, shit beginning. Where you want to start? What you want to start with?
Sure.
The MK1 trailer.
Yeah, that's a good place to start.
Let's start there. MK1 trailer. Did you see it? What you think?
I did. I like it. I've kept up somewhat with the story since was it 11 was the last one, right?
Yep.
Yeah, 11. I kept up somewhat with the story from 11, and now that Liu Kang is a god and I looked at it resetting the whole story, that's actually kind of cool. I like the way they're doing that. Because I didn't know where they was going to go from that point. I mean, they fought like a time god and everything else like that. Like, I didn't know where they was going to go from that. But resetting it is a good move because it'll give them a chance to tell things in a different light, almost like an alternate story type situation.
Right.
So I think that'll be a nice setup for the new future of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I didn't play 11, so I didn't know where the story went. Mainly because I just felt like I was buying the same game, and I know I've expressed I'm sick of paying for DLC for characters I had already. Yeah. But this has piqued my interest. I'm not too excited, like, cause I just at this point, you know how I want to see gameplay. Like, I don't care about these CGI trailers. Like, I need to see gameplay. I don't want to jump too quick, but it ties into the next thing. Which I was going to talk about is them canceling the Overwatch PvE, where they showed us CGI trailers of the game.
That was
and
irritating.
Now we won't even have this to play at all.
That was irritating, man. See, I got into Overwatch 1 late.
Yeah,
but
I
ended up loving it after a friend of mine introduced me to it, and we ran a couple matches, whatever, and I really got into it. And then 2, I was like, okay, I like what they're doing. It's finally going to be a single player mode that'll set it up. Now it just shows that all they wanted to do was just add the monetization system to it. Like, they wanted to change their monetization system. That's all it was.
Do you think that this was all a ploy?
I don't know if it was a ploy.
Do you think it started that way?
I think they actually had plans to make a single player.
What the fuck happened? We ain't gonna make no money off this.
I guess they make so much money off multiplayer.
They just want to monetize it. You don't think they could have just changed the way Overwatch was? You don't think so?
Overwatch was set up with the loot boxes, and people were used to that. The only way they were going to do it,
you have to have a new game.
Yeah, if they would have did that and like just it's still Overwatch 1, we just gonna put battle passes and stuff in there, people probably would have had a fit. So they had to make it a 2 type.
But shit, you scrapped the whole first game though. You can't even play it no more.
Exactly, and that's the problem with it. Like, if they still had the first game, I wouldn't be as upset.
It's tight,
and there's enough similarities to make them a minor difference between the 2. Mm-hmm. But I personally prefer 1 more than 2. And the way it was set up.
As far I was gonna say, it's not so much the gameplay, but just like the grind of it, I guess.
Well, just in general, I didn't only play tanks, but one of the things was it was more, I guess, tank centric in that way. Like, tanks meant
they
more.
They took down a team member, right?
Yeah, they did take one away for 2, but like, Arisa is one of my mains, and her kit completely changed.
Oh, really?
Like, so yeah, she's not like, I like that whole holding the line while everybody else behind me is going like, I'm the wall that you got to get past before you can take over stuff. They changed that now. She's like an attacker like everybody else. You don't think they did that for balance?
I heard that's why they took one down, because now you got to really make those decisions and people got to really play their role. Like,
kinda,
because it's like, two assault, 2 healers, 2 tanks. It was like it was easy.
And this is what I'm saying though. It's a difference for every person, and I get what they did because a lot of people just wanted to play the DPS. Like, most people wanted to play. There was queues set up for DPS. They had to set up a whole system to make it so that if you play a healer,
crazy because I don't even have the most fun doing that.
Yeah, they said if you play a healer for a few matches, then you got a token so you can get a DPS quicker or easier. They had to set that up. Yeah, because everybody wanted to be the ones that kill everybody and stuff like that. I actually have fun playing tanks. I actually have fun playing healers sometimes.
Support, right?
Yeah, healers sometimes. So that kind of threw off the dynamic for me, because now it's a situation that it's like in any RPG or something like that. If you're not doing enough damage, your support just get ran through, and there's not too much they can do about it. So, like I said, for me, I liked it the other way around a little bit better because the DPS had to work for it a little bit more. Just my opinion. Yeah.
But I just think it's like I really need to know why. Like, what went wrong that y'all just like, man, we can't do this shit. Like, what the fuck? Do you think that what it is? They're probably not making enough money to continue to work on
Blizzard
it.
had all those
they
issues.
have to, so they have to use the money that they have to invest into the monetization of the game to get more money because the PvE was clearly not going to make them any money.
Blizzard had all those issues.
Yeah,
with
and
everything,
they got all that shit going on.
Lawsuits, all that type of stuff. They needed more money, I'm sure, to try to fight all that type of stuff. They also got another topic we're going to go into, Diablo 4 coming out. Mm-hmm. And they're doing a similar thing with that. They're going full battle pass with it. It's a live service game now. Mm-hmm. That's not necessarily what it was before. They had like seasonal content, but I don't think they ever had a battle pass in it.
Yeah.
But this one, they know people are hyped for it. They know people, really want to get into this one, especially with the story the way it is and everything. Mm-hmm. And they're going the full battle pass route. So I think they're going the full monetization on most of their products, basically. And I would be skeptical if anything came out from the future from them that don't got a battle pass in it, to be honest. Just the way things are flowing for them.
Okay, granted, those are different demographics, but I feel like you're still selling yourself short you're stretching people thin, I should say. Mm-hmm. Like, we can't keep paying full price. Granted, Overwatch is free. Is Diablo going to be $60 or $70?
Diablo 60, 70, 100 if you pay the Ultimate Pass or whatever it is.
The base game, what is it?
Base game, I think, is 70.
You got the full price buy-in to then I have to spend after?
Yep.
Excuse me. How much time and money do y'all think I have?
An extra $20 a month, I think it is.
I'm wondering, like, the big dogs like Call of Duty and Fortnite, I wonder if they seeing a dip in their profits. Because y'all, like, I was willing to spend money in Fortnite. It was a free game that I like. Mm. But it's like when people want to play other stuff, one, we got to now pay $70, and two, y'all asking for money after I get it to get the full experience. Bro, I'm hoping that Mortal Kombat kind of take some steps back off their monetization because I feel like they kind of egregious for a fighting game. Like, now, fighting games should be $60. I'm sorry. I don't care. Like, the mechanics that you put in it is not something that's going to be mind-blowing. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless they get some like Ratchet and Clank shit going on with what's going on the screen in these fights, these games don't need to be $70.
Well, not even that. A lot of times they'll put out a edition afterwards. Like, look at Street Fighter. Street Fighter wasn't complete when it came out.
Oh yeah,
like the last Street Fighter 5. So when it came out, it wasn't complete. It didn't even have it didn't even have what is it, arcade mode or story mode or something.
It didn't have a mode.
Yeah, it was several modes it was missing. Yeah. So after that, they started adding more to it and adding more to it. Now it's like on its like 4th or 5th iteration or something like that. And now it's the ultimate edition,
right? The super ultimate
like
X edition.
So yeah, it's crazy how they set that up in general.
Yeah, it is, and it's like y'all, and then we know it too. That's what's crazy. We know, and I honestly thought about it today. I was like, wait a minute, Mortal Kombat finna come out with not all the characters. I don't know what type of DLC gonna come. Some of my homies like, I'm buying the ultimate super pass with the statue, and I'm like, you gonna still have to pay for the DLC.
Yeah,
you gonna have to pay for all the combat packs. Yeah. Now, if I could pay a price to give me all the packs that come out, this saving me money up front. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they know they're going to have 4 packs, but when I buy it, I'm saving like a total of $20 to $25 after everything, okay, I might be inclined to give you that. Gotcha. But if I'm paying $110 or whatever the hell the highest one is, and I'm not getting no DLC, and I'm not getting the packs of the characters, fam, you got me fucked up. Because I really do want this game because of some of the leaks. They said the Peacemaker gonna be in there, Omni-Man, Homelander.
Yeah,
all makes sense. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
They are. That's
gonna be cool as fuck if they in there. That's clutch. And I damn near want the game for that alone.
Yeah, Homelander.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That's a good addition.
They asses bet you they separate all of them in the packs. I bet you they're gonna be all separate.
Of course,
and it's gonna piss me off. Yeah. And that's why it's like they putting us in these rocks and hard places. It's like,
well, see, even with Mortal Kombat, it's funny you bring that one up because 11, I was like, okay, I didn't get 11 day one. I got 11 later
still
on
have 11.
when it was like, okay, it's done, it's finished, and they brought out a combat pack. Then they brought out another one called Aftermath that had an extra part of the story in it, and there were more characters in it.
Oh, you talk that DLC,
it was like
story
DLC
that came after the character.
Yes,
packs?
but the game was done. And I was like, okay, the game is done.
So,
I can get everything in one bundle. So I bought the game with I thought was everything in it. Uh-huh. It's like, no, we dropping Aftermath now. I was like, come on, man.
See what I'm saying? I had to go buy Aftermath, and we buy it knowing that shit coming. And that's how I feel like they finna announce this, and I bet you Smoke and/or Sindel not finna be a main character in the game that I can't play with. And them are two people I like.
Always the most.
So now I gotta wait 5 years to get this game with everybody in it.
If they can get away with it, they probably put Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
No, I think that would cause an outrage.
Oh, it would.
That's like making a Mario game and you can only play with Luigi at first.
I think the majority. Yeah, I think the majority.
No, like you can play with Toad and Mario the DLC.
If they could, they would.
You run around with Toad till we sell you Mario and Luigi. But I feel like we ain't far away from that. But I know they're not staples, but. First of all, Smoke ain't been in the damn game since the first one at all. Yeah. And I played with Sindel. She wasn't DLC, and then all of a sudden she DLC every time we come around. Like, stop playing with me.
Yeah, they always putting Sindel in DLC.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a regular.
Cause I mean, nine had DLC still. You know what I'm saying? But Sindel wasn't one of them. So I'm right. I'm not mistaken. Sindel was not DLC. She wasn't in the first one. Not in the first one. So I'm just like. It just don't feel good, man. Like, especially because it's a fighting game. And I'm not competitive. If I was competitive, maybe it's good up front, but I'm not. So, like, but also I do want to play with my friends. Like, I don't, that shit's kind of bothering me.
Well, I even wonder how.
I want to buy Street Fighter and it's probably the same issue.
I wonder how the pros feel about it, too. True. Like, the people who actually, play it for a living.
Serious, yeah.
Like when your character missing day one, it's in DLC. You
that's
like, damn.
True. The Discord I'm in with it's like Mortal Kombat stands. They like I got my pre-order. They like I mean they're not professional, but they take it serious. Like my man's hosts Mortal Kombat tournaments every month. He literally hosts Mortal Kombat tournaments. So they ready. I mean, like I said, they're not professionals, but it seems like they don't care.
Gotcha.
It's like, I want this game.
Yeah. Like I said, it goes back to what we always talk about. If you a big enough fan of something, you're not going to really care too much about what happens with it. Most of the time, people would just buy it just because they so hyped for it coming out.
So am I I'll be the eyeball, but is it weird to care about what you care about? I think.
But that's the thing. Like, I care
feel like
too.
Even if I had money, it feels wrong. These motherfuckers that on YouTube that's making way more money than us complain about this shit. And I don't know if they're doing it for us or if they really care. They could just be trying to.
I mean, it's a drop in the bucket for some of them. Yeah.
But it's like, are they just trying to relate, or do they really feel this way? You know what I'm saying?
Maybe it's relating to the audience, and I can see that. But like you said, like it's all perspective. If you feel that strongly about a game, you're gonna get it day one. If you don't, you're not. And it's hardcore fans out there. It's the reason why Mortal Kombat is a franchise.
But if Def Jam Fight for New York got a remake right now, I would want it day one, but I won't pay whatever they charging for it if I don't feel it's justified. You get what I'm saying?
Would you say your guys is the type of people that'll buy that $100 edition day one?
The Mortal Kombat people, yes, not my other gamer friends.
That's the hardcore fan situation.
Yes, hardcore, yes.
Yeah, would you buy it $100 day one?
What, like Def Jam?
No, like Mortal Kombat.
Well, I'm not a diehard Mortal Kombat guy, so that's not even an option for me. You see, I didn't get. I like Mortal Kombat. I didn't get 11 though, because I just never.
Oh, you never did?
I don't own Mortal Kombat 11 to this day. So even when it was like $10, so and it's especially because the new one was coming soon, so I was like, I'm not gonna get it now. I really like it. It's arguably the best fighting game we have. I love 9, 10. I was like, but it was $100 is not. I don't see anywhere where I'll do that.
Yeah, see, like I said, it goes back to the whole thing. Like, can we really tell people what to do with their money?
No, you cannot tell people. I'm not saying we need to.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, I have told people, but I've done that. But I feel like there's more people. We all can benefit though if we just made smarter decisions with how we spend our money.
I agree with that.
It benefits you and
but
us.
When everybody got different priorities,
Yeah,
that's the point.
But like I said, this is of course never gonna happen. But if everybody decided like, let's not buy this game day one, tomorrow it's gonna be like $20 cheaper.
But even if like you and me got all our friends to do it, still ain't gonna be enough.
Oh yeah,
it needs to be like a general consensus.
It wouldn't do anything. But general consensus have worked when people gave outrage.
Yeah. When people get upset about stuff and so on and so forth.
We've seen it.
It's usually when it's a big negative that hurts a lot of people in general. Like when it's
I feel like Suicide Squad could have went through with what they wanted to. That game ain't even out, and people still would have bought it if we didn't get mad. Suicide Squad went back in the lab.
Oh, they even said that because they can't really change the game.
They can't, but they could do something that's gonna try to get us some hope. They ain't got to change the game to its core, but they're gonna do something, and they're gonna be like, really "Look, we fixed all the problems, and then we're gonna get it and still be bad."
Do you ever watch like what is it, like Gamers, but they flip the A to a V? It's like a web YouTube channel and stuff like that. And
I've seen that before, but I never watched.
They'll go into like the history and background of certain things. Like they have one of like the history behind BioShock and what happened when it came out and the controversy behind it and stuff. Mm-hmm. That stuff is real interesting to me.
Yeah.
Because it goes into like the background of what actually happened. Like when people got upset, what did they actually do? And then they'll talk to developers like, oh, when we heard the backlash, we actually did go back and try to change stuff. I want to hear one of those on Suicide Squad. I think that would be interesting to see.
We ain't gonna see it no time soon.
No time soon, but I'll be looking out for whenever
we'll definitely hear that.
Yeah,
I can't. Yeah,
I think
you're right.
I think they did one about Avengers. I think they said too.
Avengers,
and that was a big thing.
It's a lot. It's a lot of games with backstories. It's like, damn.
Avengers was crazy.
Yeah. So, how do you feel? What you think this PlayStation Showcase tomorrow? Right?
It's tomorrow.
Wednesday, right?
I know it's tomorrow.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm hearing good things. I'm hearing like they gonna come hard.
I don't have my phone, but I had a list of the leaks. Did you see that?
What's the main thing?
There's nothing solidified, but it's a list of leaks.
I heard
it's supposed to be leaks.
I heard that Spider-Man 2 is a definite. They just confirmed by the way that it's not co-op. People,
I was
kind of mad about that.
I was about to say, I was like, they said there's no co-op.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you running with Peter Parker, I run with Miles Morales, and we fighting. That would have been raw. But I understand why they didn't do that.
I'm not mad, but I wish.
Yeah, that would have been raw.
I hope the game feel different.
Yeah, I'm hearing Ghost of Tsushima 2. Mm-hmm. I'm hearing far out leak that maybe not Resident Metal Gear Solid remake might be coming out. That would be incredible. And I don't know if they're gonna do. I'm hearing just 3.
Metal Gear 5.
I'm hearing 3. 3. Snake Eater was one of the coldest ones they had.
I've never played a Metal Gear from beginning to end.
3 is also technically like a prequel in a way. Mm-hmm. Like it's a different character that you're playing as and so on and so forth. It is what it is.
Wait, 3 is the one with Raiden?
I think it takes place during the Cold War or something like that.
2 was Raiden.
2 was Raiden. Uh-huh. Yeah. So if they start with 3 and like redo the Metal Gear stuff, that would be raw. I think that would be incredible, especially with today's graphics.
I was finna say you talking about like a Dead Space remake.
Yeah, like a full remake. Yeah.
Okay.
And what I hope, I highly doubt it's gonna happen. But what I would hope is like they drop something like tomorrow, like even if it's just a demo, like that would be incredible.
Oh, okay.
But I highly doubt they would ever drop like a game like that. You know, they gonna have to build up and get their pre-orders. They gonna do that.
Shit, they might take a note out of Xbox.
If they did, like what was that one? Hi-Fi Rush.
Well, it can't be that big of a
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's got to be something smaller. Yeah. But for a remake, I could see it. For a remake,
people would definitely drop their bread. Right
oh yeah, immediately.
And then the hype will get more people.
Yeah. So those are the main things that I heard so far.
I'm trying to think of something else. Factions, the online.
Yeah, the multiplayer. They finally coming out with that. I heard.
Fuck! I wish I had my phone.
That I could see them dropping tomorrow.
Like random.
Like a beta for Last of Us Factions. I can see them dropping that tomorrow.
But when Street Fighter drop? Well, that's not exclusive or nothing.
Of next month.
And Diablo dropped like Thursday,
Diablo
right?
already had 3 betas. Yeah.
Oh. I just meant like people's time, but if it's a demo or a beta,
I think Diablo dropped like the 23rd, and
that don't really matter though as much.
Yeah,
that would be fire though.
But yeah, I'd be interested for them to drop something tomorrow, even just a demo.
Fucking phone. It
was of course, hopefully an actual game.
It was some more stuff on there. I could pull it up.
Vamp for a second.
Huh?
Vamp for a second.
You can try to look it up, but as far as Spider-Man 2, like, do you think that there's a lot of room to make it different without because Miles Morales wasn't a part 2, it was just like an improvement on 1. So like, do you see 2 as being like something that's noticeably different than the first? That's the reason I wanted the co-op. I wanted a game that was different.
I agree with you. That's why I was hoping it's going to be co-op too. I don't think it's going to be. I think we're going to get more of the same, but that's not a bad thing.
I'm not mad at more of the same.
Incredibly polished, well-made game.
I'm not mad at more of the same, but I just don't want to feel like I paid $70 for.
Because
Miles Morales is like a DLC.
Yeah, even with Miles Morales, he controlled different with the electricity powers and stuff like that.
He even feels different swinging.
Yeah.
Like, I love this. Like, the swinging needs to stay how Miles was. When I went back and played the first one, I was like, oh, they refined this swinging. It feels way smoother.
Oh, that's one. Okay. Go ahead.
What you see the found it?
Yeah.
What you see?
I'll just run through them real quick. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the second one. They talking about that one. Silent Hill 2 remake.
Yeah.
Marvel's Wolverine. We might see something for that finally.
We have to see Wolverine and Spider-Man. That's only Knights
of the Old Republic. I'm hoping they do that. Star Wars.
Wait, you talking about Knights of the?
They were supposed to be remaking KOTOR.
Did they push it back or did it get canceled?
Whatever studio they were with, they canceled it. But I think they are still shopping for people to do it. So if they did switch it to another company, they might say something about it now, like, "Oh, this is with this company now," and maybe drop a cinematic trailer.
Was that an RPG?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Metal Gear Solid, Switch ports of Dark Souls and Outer Worlds. Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal. Yep, I saw that.
Yeah. Because a new TV series coming out, so they'll probably drop something for that.
They're
soon.
Gonna try to measure it in their Destruction All Stars with some bullshit.
A Horizon Zero Dawn multiplayer game.
They did talk. That was in the talks. They might preview that.
Yeah,
they might preview that. That was talked about before the game came out.
It might be a new game from the Astros Playroom team.
That would be cool.
Yeah, especially because they know the PlayStation hardware, especially what they did with the Astro one that came with most people's system. Yeah. That could be decent. Bungie got a mysterious project with Destiny. It may not be a Destiny game. It might be a Final Fantasy 16 demo release. That would be cool.
Oh, okay.
And finally remastering Bloodborne. Everybody been asking.
Everybody been talking about that for a minute.
Forever. Yeah.
It's not my type of game, but I know people want that.
Bloodborne's just good in general.
Somebody I follow on YouTube just put a poll up for what game do you want to see remastered, and Bloodborne was winning.
Yeah, they were saying updates from Naughty Dog, Sucker Punch, Sony Bend Studio, and Housemarque. So we might see whatever they're working on.
Do a new IP or at least fuck with Crash again. Yeah, because the racing shit ain't something that a lot of people looking for. But Naughty Dog needs to. I don't mind y'all leaving. I don't mind them leaving Uncharted alone just
for a little bit,
forever. Just do something to give us something new. Shit.
I don't think he's dead, but
they said no. They said they're done with Uncharted. Naughty Dog said they're done. They said they're done with Uncharted completely.
Yeah, but no, I'm excited for a Ghost of Tsushima, that Metal Gear, and maybe Twisted Metal. It's been a while since we've seen something.
Wolverine for me. Twisted. There's room for the Twisted Metals.
Wolverine too. Yeah.
There's room for that. Like, there's still a genre that got left in the dust.
We don't have too many though no more.
It was like Destruction All Stars, which was ass.
Yeah,
that was it.
That was Destruction All Stars was
I was like, I tried that shit, and I'm like, this game bogus as hell. Like I was thinking,
it was a disappointment.
I was like, you should have just tried to make Twisted Metal, but hopefully we do see that. Definitely got to show us something more than another trailer for Wolverine. They can't keep Spider-Man and Wolverine needs to be
Wolverine gameplay would be nice.
We already saw the little preview.
How long has it been? It's been like 2 years.
That got announced with like the God of War announcement.
The original God of War?
Before the PS5 came out, we knew about Wolverine.
They might be saying something about that then.
Actually, yes, Wolverine was like a thing before the console.
Because I'm trying to remember how long did it take them to make Spider-Man? Was it like 3 years?
I don't remember the time of point where it was announced to show. I don't remember how long that was.
Yeah, because I remember not E3, but the game showcase where they showed Spider-Man, and me and my guy was like, this looks crazy.
I was jaw dropped. I was like,
and all we had before
this is the Spider-Man experience.
Yeah, some different Spider-Mans we had. Like it was a bunch of different ones.
Spider-Man 2 was the best one.
You talking about PS2?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
one of the better ones. Yeah.
Prior to this.
I also like that one they did with Venom. I can't remember
Shattered
the name.
Dreams? Shattered Dimensions?
Yeah. Well, that one was good too, but it was another one before that where it was just him fighting Venom. It was like the whole game was him fighting Venom, and there was some crazy stuff like Wolverine got a Venom symbiote suit, and when you was fighting him, yes, you was fighting Wolverine with a Venom symbiote suit, and he like, I think he tore somebody in half. Like it was crazy.
Shit, I don't know nothing about
Web of Shadows. That's what it is.
Oh yes.
Web of Shadows.
I think I have that on the Wii.
That was the best one.
I think we have Web of Shadows on the Wii.
That's a good.
It's
game.
on the Wii, right?
Yeah, I think it was on a lot of things, but that was one. That was the best one after 2 for me, and then after that they kind of went a little wonky.
I remember I had bought them Amazing Spider-Mans.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was 2 of them.
People didn't like them.
I didn't. Wasn't it 2 of them?
Yes,
I got it, and I immediately remember I'm like, this something feel wrong. Like the camera was close as hell when you swing and shit.
It was weird.
Like,
a lot of people.
But now I will say at that point I was the guy that was, if it was Spider-Man I was gonna get it.
Yeah,
I was now. I guess that was my thing. I was like, I was the Spider-Man guy. I didn't care what it was. I bought a Spider-Man game when it came out.
See, and speaking of Marvel stuff, like we're going back to Wolverine for a second. We both love the one that they had on 360, whatever it was called, Wolverine.
X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah, X-Men Origins. Cult classic because it did Wolverine in the best light they could for the time. I'm just really hyped about what they could do now with the stuff they have now with that. Like
they have to pull the page out of that game.
And I know
that's what Insomniac did for this Spider-Man.
One of the things they're going to have to do.
They pull from Spider-Man 2.
One of the things they're going to have to do is that leap mechanic, man, because that was everything.
Well, bro, first of all, I was on Facebook asking people, I'm like, help me find this game, y'all. I want to play it on my kickback again. Like, that game was raw as fuck for its time, especially the regen of his body.
And it actually showed it.
I was jaw dropped.
They can do that again now.
I was like, oh yeah, that's for sure. You have to have that.
Yeah,
you have to have that.
Now they can take that even deeper.
Like, how did it work? Was it like just a did you have to be at a distance, or was a button you press to aim and
once
you
you got a certain distance from them, you could lock on to somebody and then just jump at them. Yeah, and I think you had to have some stamina or something like that to do it.
And they made good use of QTEs. Like it didn't feel egregious. Oh yeah, it was one of the earlier QTEs. I don't want to say it was like a first, but I feel like it was early with the QTE shit, wasn't it? That was like one of the games that was like, I'm not gonna say introduced it, but it was like,
I wouldn't say early. I want to say that's like close to the tail end. That was like the tail end.
So when did QTEs start?
Sometime
like,
around
do you remember the
360
oldest game you played?
I
mean, that's the PS3 era. That's still the PS3 era.
Yeah, I don't think there was a lot of QTE games, and I could be wrong on this, on like PS2 and stuff like that. I think QTEs was like a 360 PS3 thing.
Yes,
where they really got into it. But I think it was an early PS3 360 thing.
And you saying Wolverine,
and I think Wolverine came toward the tail end.
Are you sure?
Of 360. I could be wrong, but I think it did. We had to look at the time.
No, I don't think so, because I was playing that game in high school, and I took my PS3 to college. Okay.
Then maybe mid PS3?
Yeah, maybe middle.
Okay.
Maybe the game came out in, I think, 03.
Yeah,
no, I'm tweaking. Not 03, I think 05.
I remember a lot of games that had QTEs on 360.
I'm just trying to. Yeah, I guess it depends when X-Men came out on it, because it was a movie tie-in. Mm-hmm. I don't know when that movie came out, but it was a movie tie-in, and it's like arguably one of the best. It's in the top 5 of movie tie-in games.
The only one I would argue with it is what is it? Hulk Ultimate Destruction.
That's not a movie tie-in though.
I thought it was.
No.
That old Hulk?
I have it. Yes, PS2, Old Hulk Ultimate Destruction.
No, I thought it was that old Hulk movie that it was a movie tie-in with.
You talking about the bright green dude, not the Incredible Hulk. Yeah. I don't think so, bro. Because if it was, it would have been just called the Hulk.
Okay, then yeah.
It just would have been called the Hulk. I don't think that was a movie tie-in.
Then movie tie-ins, yeah. Well, Spider-Man 2.
I said top 5. I ain't saying it's the first. Yeah. I'm saying it's definitely in the top 5. Fuck around and be top 3.
Okay.
Fuck around. Because
yeah.
most movie tie-ins suck.
I'm trying to think of other movie tie-ins that was good.
Most of them suck.
The only ones I can think of Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man, that's because they suck. They had Captain America, bro. They had Thor.
I remember.
They had Catwoman. Oh my God, I remember that experience because it was so bad.
Wow,
I remember how bad Catwoman.
You talking about Halle Berry's Catwoman?
Yes, I think y'all just wait. I got a new series coming on Mid-South. Just wait. But yeah, Catwoman, bro. That shit was fucking terrible, man.
That's a throwback.
Oh my God. But yeah, they had a lot. And then they gave up on that shit. Transformers was doing it. I didn't play none of them. But did you play Transformers War for Cybertron?
Yes. War for Cybertron and the second one. The second one, the one they made after that.
I heard that one was good, but I didn't play it.
Yeah, because it was like War for Cybertron and it was like Fall of Cybertron or something like that. They was both basically the same thing, but them games was incredible. Especially the multiplayer. I remember the multiplayer, bro.
Exactly. I remember going around telling my friends, I'm like, y'all, this Transformers game is raw online. Play
that's what I'm saying.
And I just couldn't convince nobody to get it.
The way they set it up where you could just flawlessly just switch. Like instantly.
That shit was cold.
And be gone.
Man.
And then you in car controls and then you got hovercraft. Like it was.
You mean like the halfway?
Well, yeah, you could just switch.
You could switch to a full Transformer, but you was like they had like the car, and then there's like a halfway mark. Yeah. Man, that shit was raw as hell, and so I was so upset that it couldn't make it through. Just like Guardians of the Galaxy and shit, it just be like this shit good, but motherfuckers just ain't catching on to it.
Yeah, good games. Man.
So while we on this hype, talking about let's talk about the console wars. Do you think that still exists? Do you think it existed?
It does.
Well, that's not my question. Do you think it should exist?
Should it?
Because I know it does, but I fell out of that shit. Because I ain't gonna lie.
I'm not a part of it.
I was a participant.
I'm not anymore.
Yeah. It seemed like you always had both, so I didn't think you were.
I didn't always have both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You
360
was an Xbox guy, wasn't you?
Well, that's what I said. I can't necessarily say I'm loyal to one system or another. I pick what's best for me.
You were
even back then, I pick what's best for me at the time. It's not like I went Nintendo and Nintendo is my only thing.
Well,
like
Nintendo's never really in the console.
Well, even that, I had an Xbox, the original Xbox, but also had a PS2. And I had a PS2 before. So like for me, it'll be like I'll get the thing that I think has got the most games that I want to play. PS2 era, everybody was on RPGs, Final Fantasy 7, Legend of Dragoon.
So
everybody
gaming era.
Everybody was running all that. Even though Legend of Dragoon was PS1, but Final Fantasy 10 for PS2, like all the crazy stuff they had with that. That's what everybody was with. All my friends was with, so that's what I ran with. I got an Xbox, original Xbox, later on, like after the fact. So I wasn't part of the, the big Duke controller, the original controller that nobody could hold because it was ridiculous.
That was crazy.
Their initial internet foray, like getting into that with their whole setting up of their infrastructure and everything. I wasn't part of all that. I got that later, and then it flipped for the next generation after that. I had a 360. I stayed away from PS3 for the most part. So I got Uncharted and all that stuff later, Resistance, all that stuff later. But most of the stuff on 360, I played everything there. So when you're talking about Transformers, Wolverine, all that stuff, I played on 360.
Right.
So it jumped back and forth for me. And then it's crazy now because now we go from 360 to PS4. I stayed with PS4. I stayed away from the Xbox One, and then now this is like the first generation where I stayed from PS4 to PS5.
Oh,
so yeah.
It's because 360 was definitely his best time.
360 was one of my favorites.
That's when I wanted an Xbox. Ever. The only time I've ever wanted an Xbox was 360 era.
Yeah,
I was like,
and I gotta say, like before that,
Saints Row, Gears, Halo.
Yeah, and see, I was even off on the stuff before, because I had a Sega Genesis. I never had a Super Nintendo. And then I had a Dreamcast.
Nintendo and Dreamcast.
Yeah. And what was Dreamcast competition? Yeah, I had a 64.
Really, Sega was never really. That's why I said
I had a 64.
It was really always about Microsoft. Nobody really caught because I was a kid. I don't know if I can say no. Sega and Nintendo were definitely competing, but then Sega phased out, and then Nintendo just kind of always been there, but not in competition. It just seems like, and then we know Nintendo's not going nowhere, but they weren't in competition, especially because they seem like they care more about handheld and shit like that. And then, of course, Sony tried to get in that space.
Sega and Nintendo were on the same page. Yeah, I think Nintendo just won that war.
It just won. It just won. Well, Dreamcast fucked over Sony.
Dreamcast Sega was incredible, and I don't know how it destroyed them.
Well, I know people was able to copy their games. That was one thing.
That's part of piratism.
Part of it. Yeah. And I think outside of that, it didn't. I mean, they had exclusives, but I don't think it was. I don't know when you think about it. They did have some shit like this. Where you only play Sonic, right? Stuff.
Yeah, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. It was a bunch of stuff. I remember it was games like Slave Zero, Crazy Taxi.
The first Ready to Rumble was only on Sega.
Yeah, Ready to Rumble, Power Stone,
Power Stone. Yeah, my man was just talking.
It's a lot of crazy stuff that was on Dreamcast.
Played it. Everybody, that's like a cult classic too.
Oh yeah, they need to remake Power Stone, bro. or bring it back.
Yeah, I feel like Sega tripping. Why they don't come back with something?
They just turned into a developer, which is fine.
No. I'm saying why they don't come back with Power Stone and shit like that? Because I know people love that shit. Yeah. I never played it, but I know
it was a cult classic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I heard good things.
I was surprised that even like Capcom didn't try to copy something like that and make like their own version of Power Stone. I think they could do it.
Wait, did they make the first one, Capcom? Because I think it is. I don't know who made it.
I think it is Capcom.
Oh, okay.
Who published that one? Yeah,
it makes sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't even know how we got to that conversation.
About consoles.
Console. Oh, I was saying, console did you think it should exist? And I think you said you was a part, and you said no.
It's gonna be what it's gonna be. Like I can't really say it shouldn't exist because it's same thing, kind of like what we were talking about in the last podcast. People have their dedicated games on the systems. Like if you've been Nintendo all this time, most of the money you spent has been on Nintendo. So it's gonna be hard for you to transition to anything else because you're so used to Nintendo. You can, it's possible, but if you get used to a certain console, like I'm used to PlayStation 5's infrastructure. Like just the way they do stuff in general and everything. Like even just like the options and settings and how to go in there and change stuff.
Yeah.
Not saying I can't learn the Xboxes, but I'm comfortable with what I have.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal for me to like immediately go and get something else. Especially now, well, we don't have to get into all that, but Xbox don't really have a lot of exclusives. So it's not really a reason for me to go and do that in the first place. Now, like Nintendo, they got tons of stuff, and I actually do have a Switch.
Yeah.
And it's not really a lot to get into with that. Nintendo just does their own thing, and they always have.
But you realize that the only reason Nintendo has even been able to exist in the console war is because of their exclusives.
The exclusives?
Like, that's literally... If Nintendo only took mostly third-party games that they can't even take half of them because of their hardware now, which is what we gonna get into, they would probably be like Sega and not make consoles and just make games. If they weren't making games that you can only get on Nintendo that were great. They would be Sega.
I would say that, and they're the main ones who always try to do a portable market in some way.
That's true. They're still tapped into a market that's different.
For like kids on a road trip,
they still
Nintendo's
the
one
to
go to.
They still tapped into
whether that's a Nintendo, Wii U with a little pad, Game Boy, whatever you want to do.
They're tapped into that market too.
Yeah, they always got something portable.
But I don't think the console war should exist no more. I think people need to let that go because all we doing is hurting ourselves.
Think so?
Yeah. Because I'm not saying that exclusive shouldn't exist, but when people are fighting for like, you can only play this on here, it's like, well, the more people that can play a game, the more money they can make. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? If the more money they make, the better games we get.
But then don't that defeat the point of having the different consoles in general? Like if God of War was on everything.
That's why I said I'm not saying exclusive shouldn't exist. What I do think should happen is these two companies should be so competitive. I want both because I love games.
I kind of feel like
I will go out and get an Xbox if y'all made games that would compel me that I have to have an Xbox.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. I kind of feel it go hand in hand though. The console war and the exclusives in general.
I think that I wouldn't be arguing with Xbox people if they had games. Like to me, people that defend Xbox now is coping, and they just cannot admit defeat. Like if you're defending Xbox in 2023 after the one cycle and to this date of what they're doing, you're coping. You just literally can't wrap your mind around the fact that the 360 era came and went. I only saw it after it happened. I was victim of the time at PS3 360. I was still stuck on the PS2 high. I was like, PS2 went, and then, but anybody to tell you back then, I was like, shit, man, Left 4 Dead, that shit raw.
Yeah.
Saints Row, I want that shit. Gears of War, I want that shit. You know, I never had Halo, I wasn't dealing with it, but now I can add Halo to that list. It was games that it was like, I can't play this nowhere else. I want an Xbox, but I already had my PS3, and my people, I couldn't buy it myself. My people weren't gonna buy me another console at that point in time. Yeah. Granted, I did have a GameCube, but I don't know how that happened. Yeah. But
Halo 1, 2, and 3 was hype.
I think GameCube was cheaper than the other two though. Maybe
Halo 1, 2, and 3 was hype. I remember I used to work at a GameStop when Halo 3 came out.
Really?
They had me outside on the midnight launch with a mag light.
Hell no.
So it was good times, man.
Yeah. So I'm like, so what I'm saying is like, I have a Switch because I can't play those certain games everywhere else. If Xbox was making more product that I feel like I have to have an Xbox to play, I will get it because I love games, and I think a lot of people would too. You know, I know we game heavy, but I think that there was a point where a lot of people had at least 2 consoles in their house.
True.
You know what I'm saying? We always had at least 2. We had a Sega, Nintendo, we had the PlayStation 1, Dreamcast, PS2. We never had an Xbox in my house. But regardless, it really, because 360 was their best era, and it was just like we had too much shit anyway already. But you know what I'm saying? We had a Wii. You know what I'm saying? Like I had damn near I got every handheld from Game Boy except for after the DS. I stopped after DS. But you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, if y'all make shit compelling, we could do this, and I really wouldn't be arguing with y'all. Y'all just got y'all games, I got mine. I'm gonna have both.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna participate in that shit because I want to play all these games. But these motherfuckers, like, I'm hoping that The Last of Us Factions is Sony's response to like what Halo was. Like, y'all don't have no multiplayers. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they just been scared of, which is why they so fucking scared of this acquisition.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because y'all just cannot make a multiplayer game for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? So that's I feel like there should be competition, but when people be picking sides for these companies that ain't doing shit but taking money from us, that's stupid to me. I had to realize that because I was definitely like, Sony, but it's like, fuck y'all tweaking too sometimes. Sony be fucking tweaking.
Yeah.
So,
you know, for what I want out of gaming, Sony's been the most consistent as of right now.
for sure.
But yeah, I mean, that could change if they change their leadership and want to try to do something like what Xbox is doing and stop making. Because like the reason I'm with them now is because they make original IP, like highly dedicated AAA IP,
And then you just losing out on those people that don't care for those
and you can
single
tell
players.
we'll see tomorrow, of course, with the showcase. But if I see things like, you know, Ghost of Tsushima 2 and stuff
but
like
see,
that,
we like that, but there's some niggas out there that just only care about the Call of Duties and shit, and the 2Ks.
Yeah, and that's why they was trying so hard to try to keep Call of Duty, say keep that market as well.
Pathetic.
But they know what their market is. They know what it is because I mean, look at what they're doing. Like
I was
Horizon,
because y'all focus on the single players anyway.
God of War, Horizon, Spider-Man, like they are focused on those, and that's what I want out of my game.
Yeah, and I love those games too. Yeah. But I wouldn't be mad at a Halo that we have. You know, I wouldn't be mad at our equivalent of a Halo.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They said they
even
wanted
Gears,
to try to
ain't
make
Gears co-op. Y'all ain't even got a Gears.
Yeah, they were trying to make their own version of Halo for a while. I think they said it was some game they had on PS3. I forgot, but it was
Resistance could have been their Halo.
Resistance was up there.
Could have been their Halo.
It just didn't hit
it was
mainstream.
never Halo though.
Yeah, it never hit mainstream like they wanted it.
Yeah,
to. But it was up there.
It could have.
It was up there,
and it still can be.
Yeah, and I would love to see them bring that back. You know,
it's such a fucking good series.
Yeah.
So
that was a great one.
I guess this kind of ties into, we can end it on this. Like, is it time for a Switch 2?
I think so.
Am I tweaking, or it was some type of, or was it a rumor that it was like?
It's a rumor that they might drop one or information about it soon. I think they said they caught some like the people who make the lenses. I mean, not the lenses, the screens.
Yeah,
the people who make the screens said that Nintendo put in a patent for some new screens.
Yes, that's what I heard.
And they think that it's for a Switch.
They talk about some OLED too, head ass. They're gonna drop another.
If they drop another OLED, bro,
they're gonna give us another OLED. Or they're gonna make a Switch 3D, head ass.
That would be funny. But
they're gonna make a Switch 3D.
People said like the new Zelda is chugging on the old systems.
Yeah, they said Zelda can't keep a hold.
They said that's an issue with it.
First of all,
it's about that time.
That just made me think about, why the fuck is shit like Mortal Kombat on the Switch but not on last gen? PS4 and Xbox One is more powerful than the Switch. Why the hell isn't it on there but it's on Switch?
I didn't know that.
Yes. The new Mortal Kombat is on everything. Is on Switch and the new next gen.
It's just the way it is. But if you only own a Switch, any multi-platform game you buy on that is gonna be dumbed down in some way.
Yes,
like graphics wise,
it's gonna be
wise, something.
But that's my problem. So first of all, I feel like it shouldn't be on the Switch because now, yes, they do dumb it down. So I guess you don't suffer as much for PS5 and Xbox SXS. But if it's gonna get dumbed down for Switch, the dumbing down for the PS4 and what's it called would be not as dumbed down.
Yeah, that's the spectrum too.
I feel like that's bullshit. It shouldn't have been on the Switch. I'm mad that it's on the Switch because I'm like, y'all giving these motherfuckers a reason to not give us new hardware. Fuck that. I just wonder if they're ever gonna be in the same space.
Switch?
They were.
The
GameCube was the only time I feel like they was in the same space with.
They were pretty close
with their competitors. But
I would love to see a high-powered Nintendo system.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wonder what Zelda can look like Zelda on a PS5 type hardware.
If they did like a high definition Zelda, Metroid, or Mario, that would be crazy.
But you have more range if you keep your art style the same.
Would you want to see Mario's hair follicles?
No, I'm not saying it should be. I'm saying that they can keep their art styles on better hardware, and that will give them more range and freedom to do other things with the game.
I guess we kind of answered the question right there. Because of the fact that they don't have to, then what's the point? That's why they like.
But where do they go from here? They can't just keep staying 5 years behind.
Well, it's the same stuff that we say too. Like
they can't. Their next console can't be a PS4.
Performance is one thing. Like when you got stuttering, frame rates, and so on and so forth, that's an issue. I think that's an issue whether it's regardless of the aesthetics of the game. But if you are gonna keep like Mario, I'm pretty sure like Mario's textures compared to like Nathan Drake's textures is a world of difference. Like even in the memory and everything else that it takes to do that. Yeah. So they don't necessarily need to be as powerful in that type of situation. But like even with you, I would ask, when you play your Switch, do you have like frame rate stutters or anything else like that a lot? Like do you have a lot of issues with performance in general? Because I can't say I do.
No.
Yeah. So but whatever they're doing, they're optimizing them pretty well.
I also don't play shit like Zelda, which is bigger.
Okay. Now I know they're gonna do the best they can and not have it on their mainstream games.
Probably the biggest game I play on there is Bayonetta.
Yeah, I know they're gonna do the best they can.
Perfect. Bayonetta is not perfect.
Bayonetta 2, 3, what?
The latest one. What was it? The newest
3.
one.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not perfect.
Yeah, well then I guess that's the case. Then they don't need to.
But I'm saying like once you take that and put it on better hardware, now you can do so much more with your game as far as mechanics. You get what I'm saying? Well, like when you look at something like Ratchet and Clank, can you imagine what Mario will look like?
Maybe you get like jump worlds and stuff like that.
Yes, Ratchet and Clank is Mario. Like the particle effects. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like you can do so. Like imagine a Super Mario Galaxy or Odyssey on a PlayStation's hardware. I'm not saying the graphics got to be realistic. I'm talking about now, since Ratchet and Clank is so cartoony, look at what the fuck you can do with the game. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what
now you're freeing up
in terms of new mechanics. And stuff,
mechanics and effects and you know what you can do on screen. Mario can do the same shit that Ratchet and Clank could do. Probably better.
They'll never put a gun in Mario's hand.
No, not the gun. Yeah. But as far as what it looked like, I would have say that nobody would be upset at a Mario that looks like Ratchet and Clank.
Oh.
That's my argument. I'm not saying Mario needs to look like Nathan Drake. Yeah. I'm saying he looks like Mario, and now you got range to make Cappy do all types of shit that we never fathom on a Nintendo Switch.
No, I get what you're saying. They could do more with it.
So I feel like you can't just keep staying behind.
It's will they though? Because like I said, if they can get away with the lower end hardware,
I feel like they'll probably outsell again.
Yeah, Nintendo market is kids. Yet it's a lot of us adults that still play it.
But they'll outsell their competition again. They're not going nowhere if they keep their games. Yeah. Which is why I said it's fine to make exclusives.
Yeah, I don't ever see them trying to compete with like a God of War or something like that. I just don't see it happen.
And they don't have to. They don't have to. But you need the hardware to keep up because y'all can't keep staying behind. They can't make like I said, they can't just make a PlayStation. What the fuck the new one called? The Pro. You can't just make your next console be like a PS4 Pro. Like that's unacceptable in 2023.
Well, even look at the Switch. When they did have an upgrade to the Switch, it was just a new screen. It wasn't any graphical power or nothing like that. It was just a new screen.
Maybe that was a way to hold us over, I guess.
Yeah.
But you ain't holding me over. I ain't falling for y'all shit.
I was mad too because the first Switch I bought was like maybe 3 months before that came out.
Really?
Yep. I was like, I could just wait 3 months.
That's trash. What was it, extra 50, 100?
It is what it is. 100. Something like that, yeah.
The new one. You bought a new?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's trash.
Yep.
Could have saved for the extra 100 at that point.
It is what it is. They kept saying it wasn't confirmed.
Oh, it wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I feel like I knew about that shit at least 3 months before.
I heard about it, and they
you
said it
sure?
might, but it wasn't confirmed.
Oh shit!
They kind of like dropped it within like a month or two.
Damn.
Yeah, so I was just out of the range of grabbing one, but it is what it is. I ain't complaining.
Anything else? We done?
Nah, I think we touched on it based on most of it.
We got on everything. But all right, y'all. Make sure y'all join the Fuego fam Discord in the description box. Make sure you sub if you ain't. Make sure you leave a like, especially because you at the end of this. And
appreciate it.
We're gonna catch y'all next time, man.
Yep.
Peace.
Peace.